Undisputed. We are live from Los Angeles. I'm Jenny Taft here with Skip Bayless, Shannon Sharp. Guys, how we doing?
We're good.
How you doing, Skip? We're not good.
I was going to say.
What you mean?
I stayed up for that?
No.
For that?
Did I tell you what was going to happen?
Why did they do that?
It's late for us.
I told you what was going to happen. All you got to do is just set your clock.
Yeah, you told me Kevin Durant was going to get hurt.
I told you they were going to win. See all that other
Did he
stuff.
predict that yesterday?
Yes.
No, we have a lot to get to on today's show. We need to talk about LeBron's feelings. How is he feeling after more Lakers
he has no feelings.
drama? Is it all
something.
Kyrie's fault that the Celtics are going home? But we are going to start at Oracle. Let's get right to the third quarter and the biggest moment of the game, guys. Kevin Durant, he hit a jumper, then immediately reached for his leg. The initial fear was that he tore his Achilles, but the Warriors said it's just a calf strain. KD was done for the night and will have an MRI today. But the Rockets couldn't take advantage. James Harden had 31 points, but took just one shot in the final 8 minutes of the game. Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, and Draymond Green all stepped up in Durant's absence. And with the Warriors up by 3 in the closing seconds, Klay made a layup to seal the win, but it did look like he stepped out of bounds on the play. It wasn't called. After the game, here's Steve Kerr on life without KD.
We're all obviously, disappointed for him, and excited about the win, but concerned for Kevin and disappointed for him. He's been on this incredible playoff run, and I'm proud of our guys for pulling the game out. And we'll see how Kevin's doing tomorrow. I apologize to my mom, who is probably watching, but our guys are Giants. Like, that was an unbelievable victory tonight. What's that? Yes. After dark, I'm a different guy right now.
All right, Shannon, are you surprised the Warriors won last night without KD?
No, because we saw them just, Skip, I think a week or two before the end of this regular season, go to win a game in Houston without Kevin Durant.
March 13th.
So I'm even less surprised, because if you think about it, in this round of the playoffs, 4 of their 5 starters had gone to 2 championships, won a championship before Kevin Durant even got there. What Kevin Durant makes them basically almost unbeatable in a 7-game series. They have a 2-time league MVP. One of those times he won it unanimous. That's Steph Curry. They have one of the best two-way players in the game. That's Klay Thompson. Draymond Green can do a lot of things great. So no, I'm not. Iggy was a finals MVP. So no, I'm not surprised. What I'm most surprised by is how poorly Houston played after Kevin Durant went out. Considering at one point, Skip, they go on a 10-0 run to cut the lead. They let Golden State go on a 15-0 run to get up to a 20-point lead. They whittle it all the way back down. Kevin Durant leaves. I said, okay, they got him now. I said, I'm in trouble. Skip's going to come in here and be gloating tomorrow.
Well, I'm not going to gloat if Kevin Durant.
No. I said you're going to be gloating that you won. You don't really, you don't want, no one wants to see
I
Kevin
couldn't gloat without that guy.
Yeah, but you're going to win. You like winning more than anything. But anyway, as I was saying, and then all of a sudden it happened, Skip. Right before my very eyes. Skip, I've gone to Vegas and seen the magic shows, seen Siegfried and Roy, who they no longer do their act, Penn and Teller. I've never seen a guy disappear without using a sheet or a box as well as James Harden can in meaningful basketball games. He disappears and you still see him. Skip, this unacceptable that he takes 3 shots in the fourth quarter. He takes 1 shot in the final, 8 minutes of the ball game. Skip, that's unacceptable. CP3 has been a no-show. Clint Capella last night, you know what? This is why I don't like plus minus, because the plus minus says Clint Capella was the best Houston Rocket at a +8. He was good and terrible last night, Skip. Missing layups left and right. And we talk about Dwight Howard. Oh, Dwight Howard never had post moves. Clint Capella is worse. This is all you have to do. You had the lead. Skip, you win this game, and guess what? You're going back to Houston on Friday for a chance to get to the Western Conference Finals, and you lay an egg. In a situation like this, if you go back and chart since Kevin Durant's been there, when he's out, Steph Curry is ultra aggressive. Klay Thompson is ultra aggressive because there are more shots for them to. Now, they don't have to worry about Kevin Durant's 20 shots that he's going to get up. Kevon Looney's going to come in. Skip, he's not going to shoot the ball unless you pass it to him right up under the basket. So these guys are going to get aggressive. And what do? All of a sudden, you let Steph get wide open threes. You let Klay get wide open threes. That's what I'm most surprised by, Skip. I'm not surprised that they won this game without Kevin Durant because we saw them win 73 games without Kevin Durant and then add Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant basically makes them unbeatable in a 7-game series. But they're more than capable of winning games if Kevin Durant does not play.
So, my no-sleep, gutless takeaway from last night is if the Houston Rockets can't win that game, get them out of my sight. Just write them off. Let's just stop it right here. I don't want to see them get embarrassed at home once again by a team without Kevin Durant. But now I'm going to make a bizarre statement about a bizarre break I think the Golden State Warriors got last night. Just for the record, the best player on the planet, now Kevin Durant, was doing something in these playoffs through 10 games no one has ever done in the history of the NBA playoffs. And that's go 50% from the floor, 40% from three, and 90% from the free throw line while averaging 35 points a game. Never been done before. That's how great he has been, how dominating he has been. Now for my bizarre statement. I believe Golden State would have lost that game if Kevin Durant had stayed healthy through the fourth quarter, if he had not been hurt.
You might be right.
Because I wrote off the Rockets at halftime. It looked like Golden State had flipped the switch and turned back into Golden State, all caps. In the first half, they fell behind by 14, did the Rockets at halftime, and I was getting ready to go to bed. I was thinking about it.
So was I.
At halftime. And then, right on schedule, Golden State at home fell victim to are we there yet syndrome that they have been suffering from all season long, especially at home. Is that enough? Did we do enough? And they took their foot right off the accelerator and they weren't diving for loose balls anymore. And what happened? Here came Houston. I was actually sitting on my bed and then I stood up and I said, wait a second. I can't turn this off. They go on a 22-9 run, and all of a sudden, Golden State turned back into lowercase, all lowercase Golden State. They lost their flow. They lost their rhythm. They lost their connectedness on offense as they waited for that 7-foot monster to say, okay, I got you. I'll take over, right?
Yep.
You going to do it, Kevin? Or should we try? Should we keep trying? And all of a sudden, Steph and Klay had an early hot streak, went completely crazy cold. And here came the Rockets, cutting it all the way to 1 point when Kevin Durant finally made his first field goal of the third quarter. Late in the third quarter with 2:11 left, Kevin Durant said, okay, I got you. And he goes straight up on the baseline for that jump shot. And when he made it, he snarled. He gave it one of his, okay, I got this. You guys are dead now because here I come. And then he took one big step and he pushed off on his right calf. And you know the rest of the story. He looked behind him like, somebody kicked me?
Yeah.
And I don't know about you, but I said Achilles.
I thought
Achilles rupture.
Yeah.
It's classic. It's textbook Achilles. Did somebody kick me?
Yeah.
And it's just it's the worst injury in sports. It's the most mysterious. It's a 6-month rehab when you didn't deserve it because there's no warning sign, as you know. You don't have a sore Achilles and all of a sudden it goes. It just goes
So odd.
for no apparent reason. It's non-contact. You don't even do anything. You don't even make a dangerous move. You just press down to push off.
Right.
And it just ruptures.
Right.
It ruptures and rolls up the back of your leg all the way up to the back of your knee. If, in fact, that's what happened.
Right.
The shock to me was Golden State pretty soon announces and puts it up on Twitter from the PR staff. It's a calf strain.
Yep.
Really? Are we supposed to believe that? Because it's hard to believe. Was it a calf tear? It looked pretty bad, right?
Pretty bad, yes.
Okay, so obviously you would think Golden State would be deflated and devastated, and you would think James Harden and company would say,
Yep.
ooh,
Sharks
got this.
circling, blood in the water.
Ooh, we finally got them. Karma just came back around because what happened at the end of
CP3
Game 5 last year, CP3 pulls his hamstring, and you know what happened in Game 6 and 7? Wipeouts happened, and James Harden did not happen because he went 6 for 25 from 3 in the last 2 games. And to James's credit, I got to give him this. Down the stretch of the third quarter, it looked like he was trying to take over. And he did score 5 quick points, including a really sweet little floater that he made from about 6 feet. And guess what? That put them ahead by 1 point for the first time the whole game. And guess what happened from that moment on? That was late in the third quarter. The rest of the way, it was 36-30 Golden State. Why was that? Because Steph Curry re-announced himself to the world. He said, guess what? Now it's my team again. Yes. Guess what? Remember me? I was a two-time MVP. And guess what? The Golden State Warriors looked to me like they turned back into these 73-9 record-breaking Golden State Warriors, right? Ball moving everywhere. And all of a sudden it looked to me like Steph and Clay were shooting freely, like they weren't looking over their shoulder to see if the 7-foot monster was clapping for the ball, right? It looked like it all freed up, and here they came back. And to your point about James Harden, so I look at the fourth quarter stats, and if I read these to Daryl Morey and I said, this is what your team did in the fourth quarter, and again, his whole soul is built on trying to beat Golden State. But again, the Rockets in the fourth quarter